Well, welcome back to this special edition of the Daily Show here at the National Micro-Credential Summit, the third one. This one in Louisville. Next year it's going to be in Iowa. And so I'm very honored to have two young educators from Floyd County at Allen Central.
Allen Elementary.
Allen Elementary, and where you both teach in the 5th grade.
Yes.
And you all are doing some really remarkable things. So I have Janice Hamilton and Shawn
VanDine.
VanDine. And so, Janice, first tell us, there's something unusual about what your school has done in the area of micro-credentials.
This year at Allen Elementary, we were all given the opportunity to earn a micro-credential badge. Along with our principal, we selected learner engagement as a badge that we were interested in doing because it ties right in to our Atlas study that we are also doing and to the national board certification process. So every teacher was given that opportunity, and every teacher at Allen did submit a learner engagement case study. And I think probably the majority of them did earn the badge for that.
Well, you know, that's exciting. I mean, being a teacher is not an easy task.
No, it is not.
And you've got a lot of work beyond when the classroom ends, whenever the end of the semester ends, to do things, but to be willing to take this extra on. So why do you think you and your colleagues did this?
Well, we want to focus on getting away from the teacher being the director of learning, more to focus on students being engaged and being learners on their own and being able to listen to their discussions, watch them teach each other, is what we're trying to lean towards, more student engagement.
Less teacher-led.
Less teacher-led. So the focus is on this more so on the students.
And then, therefore, that comes in personalized learning.
Yes.
You'll have one student has a learning style that's different.
Different from another, and they can, you know, they teach each other. You know, if one's weak in an area, you know, you have somebody in that group that's strong in that area, and then they teach each other.
That's almost like the old one-room school concept, isn't it?
It is,
Where you
yeah.
have all 8 grades and then,
The different abilities and different ages. Yes.
what have you learned in this micro-credential process? How has it assisted you to become a better instructor?
I think it summed it up really good. One of the speakers today were talking about that us as well as our students, if we know why we're doing something, the what has more purpose. You know, you can tell the children to do something, but if they don't understand why they're doing it,
It doesn't mean as much to them.
it doesn't mean as much. And with earning these badges and getting the kids engaged and having them go through the process with us, because it was a learning experience for the children as well as for the teachers.
Yeah, because it was our first time doing this. And then you can reflect back on the lesson because you have your video there. You know what your goal was, and then you're able to see if the students were able to demonstrate what they learned. So you're able to reflect back on it.
Yeah, you know, as you're talking, that makes me realize that I've learned more about K-12 in the last 5 or 6 years than I ever done. A lot of us have never gone into a classroom to observe, or several classrooms. So what's going on in the classroom today is so different than it was
It is.
10 years and 20 years ago. So describe how things have evolved and why has there been a need to evolve how you teach?
Well, when you were talking about the different learning styles, the students, that's more so today than I think it's ever been. And when I was in school and years when I first started teaching, it was more teacher directed. You did more lecture and the students were less engaged. They just sat and listened and they would take their, you know, assessments. And now it's going away from that to be more student led and, you know, teacher just walking around and watching the kids demonstrate what you've taught.
And in Floyd County, we have, in 5th grade, every student has a laptop.
Okay.
So, you know, when I was in school, you had no technology. And now, not only do you have to be able to teach the math content and the social studies and the writing and reading, you have to understand technology. And no matter what we know, the kids know more than us. with the technology.
with the
So
technology.
you've
They
got-
teach us
yeah,
new
you've got
things
to
that
try
we
to
don't
stay
know.
one step ahead of them.
And that's interesting when you start thinking about the role the students play, and they've been born with technology at their fingertips and in their minds. And then with this micro-credential process, they're also a very key element. So it's really interesting. There's a tie between students and teachers more so than you usually see.
Yeah.
Yes.
The kids, they enjoy it. They enjoy when we earned our badge in learner engagement, we did probably more hands-on projects because and they love that. Anything where they're actively engaged instead of having to sit in a seat every day.
Every
know.
student is involved in learning that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you see all of your faculty, your colleagues were engaged in this? Where do you see this heading next year and the next 2 or 3 years?
Our principal has talked to us about that she would love to see us continue earning badges. She has told us that we can earn professional development hours for it. She's already sent us links to ones that she would like to see us look at. She's not requiring any certain ones, that it is up to us. We'd already discussed some of the ones that that Jennifer Carroll mentioned today into doing for next year, and I look forward to working on them again.
Well, of course, KVAC has 23 school districts, and so part of the role of the consortia is to share best practices, and so one school district or one school can learn from another. Has this been helpful to you folks in Floyd County?
Jennifer Carroll was very helpful. Anytime we had any kind of problem whatsoever, and we did.
We did, yeah.
Because, like I said, we didn't know
This was
what
our
we were
first
doing to
time.
start with. Just questions about how to upload the video, about what we should put here and what we should do there. She would immediately answer every question we had, and then we were the first ones in our school to do it. We neither one put anything off. If we're asked to do something, we get it done. And so once we earned our badge, then other teachers in the school came to us and were like, what do we do? So we helped mentor other teachers on what they needed to do. You have to put this in it, you have to do this, you have to do that, which they got a little easier than we did, because we did the hard work for them.
Yeah, and of course, Jennifer, now going to be Dr. Carroll, because she just completed her work to become her doctorate, and her dissertation focuses on micro-credentials.
Right.
So
We just heard her talk about it in there and about all the data she collected to do that. It's awesome.
So let's close out with each one of you. Tell me why you went into teaching and what does it mean to you? So start with you.
Me? Okay. Well, I went into teaching because I really enjoyed watching my own kids learn at first when I had my own children, because I went back to school a bit later. I enjoyed working with my own children and watching, the growth, and I just wanted to do that with other, other people's children and other people's students, because I call them my own anyway. I mean, they're my own when I have them, and many years later when they come back, it's always nice to have students come back to you and remember, things that you've taught them, and so it's always nice to do that.
My father was a teacher, so I feel like the education was in my blood. I watched him. I watched the impact that he had on students. He actually was a vocational teacher and taught electricity, and just the number, every time we would go out in public, the number of people that would come up to him and say, I want to thank you for what you did for me, because of you, I now have a great job. And it was just very inspiring to hear the stories of what a teacher can do to help change a child's life, that I wanted to be part of that.
Okay, great. Well, Janice, and thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate having you all on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good job.